Good night, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Talk Truth Show. Talk Truth, current, Talk Truth, Talk Truth, Talk Truth. Yes, my people, tonight we will speak on the topic, my poem, the fifth of it at East Street, 77 East Street. That was the venue for the launching, and that's where I launched my first book. I been writing from a long time, and I have lots of books in the pipeline. Most of them are not yet edited, but I happen to finish up this book called My Golden Book of Poems. It has several poems in it, different topics, etc. And I think it's something for you to read. Get the book for yourself, read. I cannot actually tell you the contents of this book. You have to read for yourself to see what goes on. However, I managed to got the launching on, and it was successful. Remember, it is COVID time, so we cannot have a full house of people. So we invite just a little amount of people to come, and we have several people who have done some reading from the book, and myself went up and read a few of the poems, and that happens on the 5th of August 2021, which is Thursday. Yes. The publisher of the book is right here tonight, and the executive producer are the executive persons for the book, person for the book, right? And she will speak some more about the book and also about the launch. So I'll turn this chapter over to her, and her name is Robin White Morton, all the way from Alabama. That's where she's stationed now. And that's her place of abode. Though she's originally from Louisiana. So take it away, Robin White.
Thank you and congratulations for a successful launch of my Golden Book of Poems by Joseph Current himself. Um, we had a wonderful turnout, um, considering, as he said, with COVID and all of that. But we wish that you all could have been there. And I think you would have really enjoyed yourself and even had an opportunity to read, as some people were selected to read, and others were offered the opportunity to do so. And Jean Oliver um, Simmons was one of the readers. I myself read along with Mr. Vassell. Okay, he also read. He read a poem called "The Bodyguard," and Jean read COVID-19, and she also did "I Can't Breathe." That was a couple of the pieces that she read on that particular day. I just want to tell a little bit of part of the story of how the company came about, Poet Laureate Publishing Company. My dean of the college had suggested that I publish other poets because there weren't many people publishing poets at all. So I embraced the conversation that she had. She's since passed, and after her passing, and probably 6 or 7 months later, I picked up that baton and went forward and started publishing authors. I have published several writers so far, and I have some in the pipeline. And it's very challenging to get through that journey. It's not just the book, like with Joseph. With the book, it's been a journey with this book. It's not just you write a bunch of poems, you throw them together, and voila, it happens like that. It takes a lot of conversations and trying to understand the writer and get a gist of what they're really trying to bring to the forefront, developing the book cover. And I want to talk a little about that book cover because that book cover, if you look at the cover of the book, you'll actually see that the hand on that's his hand. And a young artist out of California who's studying to be a veterinarian, she was the actual person who did the hand on the book. It was my concept to utilize that and to do it in that manner. But I'm excited about what's going to happen with the book, what has happened, and the promise that goes forth. One thing about the book I found, the writings were very, very inspirational and encouraging. As you may know, that Joseph has read several of the poems throughout the last month or so. You've been reading from the book, and as we grew closer to the book launch, he began to even share more. If you would like to purchase a book, they were the cost was 3,000 Jamaican dollars, but we're selling it for 2,000 Jamaican dollars. If you're on the live, if you'd like to get the book, please be encouraged to do so because that's the current cost. But we did talk about the costs based on the location and stuff like that. And we want everyone to have that book in their hand because it's a keepsake. Not only is Joseph current, a dual poet and a writer, and also a performing artist, DJ as such. This is your family. This is your person. So I implore you to get the book and add it to what you're doing. There are pieces in there like The Pressures of Life and Guard, COVID-19, a piece about George Floyd, I Can't Breathe. So there's history that's in place in this book as well. And I also share that's about. They're sensitive subjects, but they're sharing. So I cup of coffee, you know, give yourself a bit of reading for a little while, where it takes you. So back to you, sir.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in purchasing the book, remember it's 2,000 Jamaican dollars. So, and the book is going to be at Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and it will also be in the form of an ebook. So you can also go to Poet Laureate Publishing Company.com, where you can actually get a gist. So if you want to know a little more about your talented person from Kingston 11, um, I just encourage you to visit the website and you'll get a chance to read a little more about him or Google him. Juby, Fancy Juby, Joseph Curran, Wayne Thomas, your poet.
Okay, so the launching was on 5th of 77 East Street, and Robin White Morton could be a little bit transparent.
Let's just start. We'll begin at the beginning. Um, we came in. We came in a little early just to do some brief setting up. And then we were graced with a wonderful audience of people who were as hungry to hear what Joseph Curran has to say as he was to deliver on that day. It started out with an introduction, of course, and we set the stage. Following that, we had an opportunity to basically begin the process where I shared a little bit about myself, as you already know. I call you family and friend now, especially since I've had an opportunity to join you on your live and to have your support in your love. I want to say thank you for that as well. But with that part, we had the opportunity just to share the poetry, starting with several poems. And there's a poem that's in the book that I encourage you to read. It's called Tears, and it is one of my favorite pieces. I had an opportunity to read that piece. And what's very ironic about the piece that he has written, I've written a book, and it's so funny that I titled a piece called Tears. Another author that I'm working with wrote a piece called Tears. And what's strange about it is everyone's talking about tears, but it's from a different perspective. They have a different bend, but it's um, it's a good piece. I encourage you to get the book. Um, Again, you can get it from him here currently in Kingston, Jamaica. He's your go-to person, and he's very, very, very humble with his work. Though this is one thing that I found to be quite complimentary, especially for an entertainer, to have such humility. Because sometimes when an artist has done some work at the level in which he's done it, they can't seem to find their way there beyond who they really are. So the journey with the the book launching, some of you may have gotten a flyer that promoted it and stuff. Inside that room, I wish you could have been there. It was pretty explosive. It went from the beginning to people when people began to read, they were like hanging on the edge of their chair listening for the next line, and the audience was very reflective. They spoke about their feelings as it related to some of the pieces that were read. And following my reading, we were graced with the presence of Miss Jean Oliver Simmons to read, and my God, she was extremely outstanding. That's another person that you're going to be hearing some you probably hear a lot about her too, because we enjoyed her reading. But most of all, Vassal came, and when he read The Bodyguard, he just really took the audience with him, because as he read, he talked, he discussed it along, and that was kind of interesting, the manner in which he shared. But we were very excited, and people want everyone. I must tell you, rare. So you have to get a copy of my Golden Book of Poems by Joseph Current. And the cost again is 2,000 Jamaican dollars. Everyone who came left with the book. That is very, very good for a book launch. So we still have some copies left. So again, I encourage you to get your copy and meditate on the words. And that's something that Joseph has said before about the book. Don't just read it, he wants you like to digest what he has put on the page, because there's something inside those pages for you.
Okay, I'm just glancing through the book while she speak. And when the master say, wait, I want the book there. Oh, you don't want to hear something from the book. Mm.
So you
Mm.
have to encourage. That's what the audience wants. So
All
you
right.
give the audience.
What I'm going to say now is I'm going to read a poem. Usually I don't explain my poetry. I just make you read and get one concept. But you get me today. So this poem is called You Don't Have to Like Me. A lot of people leave home, goes to work, begging for someone to like them. Yeah? Begging for someone to like them. You feel away because somebody come and don't say good morning to you. Somebody might talk to you a certain kind of way and you feel upset. It broke your work vibe. You feel like if somebody don't really talk to you or somebody open them feelings, you have to feel a way about it and you get upset. No man, when you come to work, you go to work. It don't matter if the person like you or them like you. The only thing you have in common at work is the work. The only thing you have in common at work is the work. That's why a lot of people don't allow us to date on the job. If you go to work, you might meet somebody, you get involved, and then right there, so now the work start mashing because jealousy come in play. Somebody might come to do the business and through the male customer will not speak to the female attendant, you get upset because your girlfriend. Now, if you and I never talk together, the work could have done properly. Somebody might come in and talk something bad for you, and you just take it up. You just take it to heart, and they throw out the whole work vibes. But then I said, come on, when you come to work, the only thing you have in common is just the work. If you're here to supervise and make sure, say, people do them work. Don't try to look love and look likes and look like, oh, this person like me. You're not come for that. You come for supervise. You come to work, you come to work. So this poem is called You Don't Have to Like Me. It is not about me. It is not about you. It is about the work we are here to do. You don't have to care for me, and I don't have to care for you. It's more about the work we are here to do. Things may have been said and done. You don't have to be hurt. What we have in common is just the work. We are just another worker doing a 9 to 5. Don't let personal feelings kill the work vibes. You hear that? Don't let personal feelings kill the work vibes. You don't have to like me, like I don't have to like you. When it's work time, just do what you have to. Don't get up in your feelings because I said something. Just just free up yourself and continue before the day ending. Remember, it is the job and nothing personal about it. Play your part so we all can benefit. You are not my mother, and I am not your father. You are not my sister. I am not your brother. Please be advised. We please be advised. We are not lovers. We are just co-workers. So when you come to work, do the work. And I'm old enough, we are brothers and sisters, mother and father and brother. But you know the level of the part. Let me say, we are not sisters and brothers, blah blah blah. We don't want to get another mood. I just work or come to deal it. So just do the work, you know. And I can tell you when I did this poem, a few person grabbed it. It was on I typed it. It was never the book yet. And I showed them 6 poems at the jam, and everybody hold on to the one that you don't have to like.
It's pretty good. I just have a concern or a thought. I wonder if anyone out there have had that experience at a job, at work. So what's their story? Because I have a story as it relates to going to work where my pastor's wife, we were talking one day and I was talking about her. I had a problem, but you have to like me, which relates to your poem. And she asked me, did I have any friends at work? And I was like, I don't go to work to make friends. I go to work to do the work because I'm very technical and everything's black and white. Friends, when they evolve out of what if you should find other work, that's a beautiful thing. That's a plus. So I've had some pluses also as it relates to that. So that's pretty good. I wonder if they've had situations.
All right. Tonight, I am not going to read from the screen. But what I'm going to do tonight is just put up the comments, and then, I always do a little summary of the show. So I will read the summaries, and then I will do a posting where I respond to every summary that every comment that come on the screen. I will do a summary and respond back to you. But tonight, I just put up the comments on the screen. Yeah. So I'm telling you, it was I had enjoyed the launching. It was good, and I must commend Oliver Simmons. That's the mother of Monique August that came second in Rising Star 2016. She is such a good reader. She's such a good actress. She know just how to perform or how to recite a poem. At one point I was like, wait, does she write the poem? Because she was just, I tell you, she was just going on with herself, man. She's good. I must commend Jean Oliver Simmons.
I looked it up.
You have Sir Canute Vassell. That's one of my co-worker. He read this poem called it's not Bodyguard in my poem, but it's speaking about bodyguard. He did well too. But I know I read that poem because just speaking about a policeman who um did all that he can do for the public, and then when he meets his demise, what had happened? It was just the concept was a good. And he read that with passion because he's an ex-sergeant of the police force. So when he read that poem, he picked that poem out and read that poem. You know, who's gonna bodyguard? Bodyguard. And I want to commend him to read that poem. To my daughter Lucretia, I gave her a poem to read, but it was about her. So she was reading it and kept looking at me while I was sitting down. So I got up and I took the book from her.
Yes, you did.
And I read it the way it's supposed to read. She can do it. But truth is talking about her, she was like, whoops. So
you had to be there. It was an exciting moment, and the crowd just roared when he read it to her, for her, about her. It was a wonderful moment. You had to be there. Do we have any footage on that?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, so
It's not a crowd person.
Yeah, so, we had, but it was.
Because we couldn't take the crowd inside.
As the word says, where two or more are gathered, he's in the midst. That was a nice group of people that were there in attendance. It was a nice group. Yeah.
That you current, that you.
That's nice for a reading also, especially based on in times like these. So I'd like to commend you and compliment.
All right. I understand what you're doing as the publisher, but
no, that's talking truth, current.
All right, but look at this now. When I say the crowd, hold on now. That's not me. When I say the crowd, okay. Hey, you see when I do an interview, me I will tell you what's going on. So, like, Mr. Some man of foreign said, well, I'm going to program some big concert, you know. He said, we're going to place at some club with 8 people in there. I say, oh my Lord. And I'm tell the crew and then mash up the place. For me, still, it's COVID and then we still have to be careful of the invitation, but 15 people.
I thought you had 7.
You want to be 20.
Okay. Did you count yourself?
Yes, 15 people.
So that made
not 1 over 15 people.
I have to look at my list.
Mm-hmm. Gonna be 15.
Okay. Guys, look. This is like, it was a wonderful moment. You know, some things are just sweet, just the way they are. And one thing that I did say to Joseph was that God has there who he wanted there. And that's good enough, you know. And it was a nice crowd. and crowd is still more than one. So I'm using it in its proper context. Okay. Numero uno.
My people, as I said, tonight you shall be reading from the screen and stuff like that. Tonight, I'll just I light on the screen so you guys can see. But after the program, I will run through every comment and I'll make a post, which I will post not far from now. Yes.
Another thing I want to bring to everyone's attention is that he will be having other readings and book signings in the future. So you'll get a chance if you haven't had an opportunity to see him in person. Unlike the read that he does, and the videos are quite explosive, but to be in the room with him is quite tasteful, and it's just a delight just to hear him read his work to you out loud. That's very refreshing. So down the road, expect to be invited to a reading and a book signing as well.
Very much so. I really feel good to know that there's a book out now. I've been writing for a long. I'm telling you, I'm writing for a long time. I always want a book to be out. I have title like the original dancehall, title like the Chronicle of a Jamaican Constable. I could go on and on the topics of books that I'm working on. But I tell you, finally, book is on the street. Thanks to Poet Laureate who made this into a reality. You know? And for all those people who love to write, I'm telling you, do not throw away your notes. Put them somewhere, keep them. And sometimes when I read some things where people throw away, it's a marvel. Themselves must write because of fun. But if all right, sometimes you read some book, and when you read a book, you read one book, you read 7 or 8 books. Because a lot of persons when them write with the rules of writing. So you can actually tell sometimes what is going to happen. Not a poetry book, but just a normal book. You read like uh, like a book. No man. Like yeah man. And Nancy Joe and all the boys and a novel, whatever. So when you read it, you can tell what is going to happen because guess what? They follow the rules of how to write books. And then the editor, when you give them your book, if you write a particular way, they're going to take out some stuff and bring it back with the same rules that people used to write. Now you have some writer, them not have a clue about writing books. So when them write, you enjoy it because them not following rule and regulation not at all. You just you want to know what go up next.
Yeah.
Yet when the editor touch it, give it back to them, they might say, no, put him back this, put him back that. I'm saying that's what they want, fine. Just that they correct the spelling and all that stuff and make the paragraph. But when you read that book, it is just going to be different.
Well, in that process, and I'm glad that you brought that up because that is a technical process. And sometimes, especially for those people out there who are writing, you must guard your work, but you have to guard your thoughts because just like for Joseph, he knew what he wanted to say and he was very definite about what he wanted to say because back and forth on. So what does this mean? Because you guys, well, it was some of it was in patois.
Yeah.
And that's not my native tongue, which was sometimes a little interesting. Then he would speak, and I was like, "Excuse me, could you say that again?" So there was like some little barriers there, but as it relates to an editor and your work, they will change your work. And when they start to change it and move it around, what happens is it's no longer, it doesn't sound like you. And when I've spoken with him about certain things that were written, I would always like implore him to make sure that he was speaking in his own voice because I had gotten to know his work well enough to know when it didn't sound like that's not you. So I was able to feed that back to him. But I must say to you that you have a masterful catalog of work, and thank you for taking the time to just put it down and give it back to the world, because it's something that we could keep for a very long time, and it's part of your legacy. And that's what writing does also, and your talents and stuff. It builds legacy for you and for your family.
It's just all right. Sometimes even when she would think it's nothing, I speak in several voices. You will you will know some and you won't know some. People never ever know what Joseph Current can do until they see me do it. I am a dub poet and I perform poetry. And then I get up on the stage in a hot show and I start to DJ and I'm like, what? Then I get in front of a camera and I do some acting. I'm like, wait, when will you stop? When where the talent ends? Then I get into my books and I start to write. The last person asked me, so what college you attend? I said, sir, I went to Penal Tabernacle Basic School. I went to Balmaji Primary School. I went to Penwood Secondary for 1 year. And because of 1980 election, when people was dying like fly, my mom changed me. My mom and my godmother changed me. Sent me to Norman Manley Secondary School. And I remember I did not attend the graduation. I said I have no subject whatsoever. I've never taken a subject from the day I was born. You're lying. I said, who lie? I said, I have no subjects, none at all. So you write this. It's not you write this. Publisher didn't believe me until when I actually do some stuff in her eyesight or in her, when she actually should have known it's me doing that. I should have said, wait. Me know, so she said that to herself, but she not say it to me. Me know.
You know too.
I really aim do it. Yeah. Because I will do some type of writing. All right. I write about the police. A story, 5 series about the Chronicle of Jamaican Conflict. And when the superintendent read it, if she wasn't a police officer, I said no. Because I would have the whole thing locked. The thing is that I make sure whatever I do it to the best of my ability. If I went to freestyle, I freestyle to the best of my ability. Never you would think, say, no, man, not just because everything with me, I do try to do the best. Everything I put all in it. Me not do nothing regular. Never try nothing regular. So if you hear me tell something regular, just know say that's not talking the truth. I always try to do the thing just the right way and the right and proper way. And I could never have another channel name more than Dark Truth. Dark Truth Current, Dark Truth, Dark Truth YouTube, Dark Truth.
And he lives by that, and he stands by Talk Truth. Trust me. Um, I wanted to kind of piggyback on what you just said about my, uh, with my sense of your writing and stuff, because he wrote a piece, and I was reading everything in patois, so I was learning as we were going forward. So I expected everything he wrote to be the same way. And so when he sent something to me, I was like, you did not write that, right? And he said, me write that, me write it. But he was like, me write that. But it was like hard. He was coming hard. And I'm like, you can't do that. I'm just saying that you did not write this. And he says, you are wrong. Me wrote this. I'm trying to do him. So, but he was very insistent on the fact that he wrote it. And I had to respect what he said because he was very passionate in his speaking about his work. And from my Golden Book of Poems, it speaks volumes from I love the patois, me personally. I'm like, please don't change it. Let's just keep it right where it is. It's amazing because I foresee great things for Joseph Current as a writer. I'm just, well, I've not shared the things that I've seen with him, but it's been a long time watching the process and guiding and stuff and just trying to be on the peripheral of things because I see something for him that he knows not what God has in store for him as a writer. He's already proven himself as a talent, and I mean on stage and all that. But there's more to come from this guy right here. So I say, hold on to your seats, put on your, you know, tie yourself down, and get ready to hear some wonderful things that are about to happen for him in the future.
You can read a poem from us.
Thank you. Okay, I will do my, oh, what are the odds of that? Tears.
Oh, I give it to you. No, you don't know that I give it to you. You can read whatever you
No,
want.
I love this poem. If ever I get an opportunity to read it.
You got
Okay, so I would hope that you would enjoy this piece. This is one of the pieces I had an opportunity. Matter of fact, it's the first piece I read. Tears from my Golden Book of Poems by Joseph Current. Smiles are padded with tears. Not that I am sad or displaying fear, but I'm counting my blessings through the years, expressing myself with tears, appreciating love and kindness, mercy and care, knowing productive needs and watching them. What is this? I can't see all of this, guys. Bear enough to stretch my hands to show that I care in those desperate moments. Thank God I can share. Eye water washes my face without soap and rag. Tears of sadness turn to joy. And now I am glad. Big bright smile with tears running down. Head up high with glory all around. Achievement like foundation on solid rock. Big storm ahead, but no looking back. Now that I am crying, don't think I am sad. I'm just reminiscing on the good times I had. Tears by Joseph. Thank you.
You're welcome, man.
I love that piece. That piece is so rich to me. It says more than one thing. You know, it because normally when people are sad they're crying, but you're reflecting on the goodness and all the wonderful things that have happened. Because sometimes sad things can turn around to be, though they may appear sad at that moment, they're growing pains and they make you better, you know. And so that piece particularly just holds me, it sticks with me because when you just reminisce on the good times that you had, because it could have been another way, you know.
All right. This one is called Beware. Love this poem. I've listened to them for a very long time because once I write some things, I leave them to other things and other things and other things. But beware, a lot of people may mislead into things sometimes. For instance, you might meet a girl, you're speaking to her, and then you like her and you talk to her, and she gets some nice smile and some nice body movements and eye contact, but it's not what you are thinking. So you might follow that smile and that the action that you read from her, and you might end up into a broken heart position because it's not what you are reading. So it is called beware. It's saying, your action speaks loudly, my heart hear. The words from your mouth confuses what your action says. Not that you lied, but in your convincing smile, I collide. I found warm by your words, but your open arms cage me like a bird. Your lips said, beware, yet your ways tell me you care. Your lips says, beware, your ways says, beware, yet your ways tell me that you care. I followed your ways, and your convincing smile that led me to the reality of a broken hearted file. That led me, you ever say? That led me to the reality of a broken hearted file. Usually, when you read this poem, you will come with your own little concept, and sometimes your concept tell it better than my concept because you might make this do something for you, and when I read it, might narrow down back what you are thinking. But tonight, must I tell you, say, be careful if the woman never tell you, say, me love you, me want you. Do not watch her action. Do not watch her ways, her nice ways, her action, her beautiful smiles, the way she ugly. The way. No, she not tell you she want you. Again, your action speaks loudly. My heart hears. The words from your mouth confuses what your action says. Not that you lie, but in your convincing smile, I collide. I was warmed by your words, but your open arms caged me like a bird. Your lips said, beware, yet your ways tell me you care. I followed your ways and your convincing smile that led me to the reality of a broken hearted file. Can something stay some? It's the words, they're powerful. Poetry, poems are something for you to look into. Poems can comfort you once you love it too. Poems can put you on your guard. Poems can put you on your peace and your cues. Yes, I love poems. I really love poems. Not just mine, but I read other person's poems.
I,
Mm-hmm.
I really love the broken hearted file.
Mm-hmm. Broken heart file. Okay. It's something where persons have to really, you know. I'll try to read this one for you. It's long though. It name advance me a thing. Advance me a thing out of the funeral money. Right now, me alive and things not pretty. Just a third of my funeral money and cancel the fish, bread, and coffee. Although life is I'm struggling daily. Not that I am worthless, reluctant, or lazy. That I cried for help, but no answered me. Not even a little water. God knows I'm thirsty. No food. Even my dogs are hungry. Checking around. No friend. No family. Just a little help could change the negatives around me. I felt neglected and rejected simultaneously. My my corner becomes dark. I could no longer see or feel anyone around me. Oh God, how could this be happening to me? Yet in my last breath, I plead, advance me a thing out of the funeral money. Right now, me broke and things not pretty. Just give me a third of my funeral money and cancel the fish, bread, rum, and coffee. I break down in my bed and I cry. No one to help with tears from my eye. I check to see if anyone called my phone. Couldn't even fill a prescription. No money was around. Friends and family abroad knew my plight, but couldn't afford to fly down. The ones that are here couldn't afford a penny, much less a pound. I got so weak I could no longer make sound, feeling scared, knowing that I am all alone. If my dog could help, I would still be around. Now I am laying motionless as I catch my last breath. Undertaker, do the rest. My family get together, putting together. Look here, I promise I can't find the money to come to Jamaica, and them broke and them couldn't even fill my prescription. Listen, where I go on now, people. Hey, my family got together, putting together, aeroplane touching down by the hour, with family members like sisters and brother, changing pounds, sterling, US and Canadian dollar. Purpose of the visit is to check their loved ones that is not around but could be around. All that was left is a carcass lying on the ground, and he is nowhere to be found. They that was without cash are now purchasing expensive box with cash, holding belly, hands on head top, crap. If the dead was with power, all this would have stopped. Save your breath. Tears drops. You should have thought about that. The prescription was far less than the box. Bright Light got paid in full with extra. Bright Light got paid in full with extra for a stretched Cadillac. Range Rover, Benz, and stretched Cadillac. Taking family to the burial spot as the pastor commenced the body to the earth, saying, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, conscience riding like jockey on horseback, as the people sing, no grave cannot hold my body down. Just a third of the funeral money, and I would still be around, be around, be around. Just a third of the funeral money, and I would still, and I repeat, I would still be around. If you have nothing to give me, come give me now. If nothing I want for me, the money I put on when you advance me, I think with the funeral money. When I have the money, everything, and I don't want to help me. So just give, all right, advance, let me give it back to you. Just give me a thing with the money. Where I put on for bury me. Give me something out there so I can live. I'd rather to live in style and bury like a dog than to live like a dog. Hogs and dogs, crows, and bury in style. So just give me a thing. Something out of the funeral money. If you have a thing now and you have a family somewhere around, assist them too. No matter see up and you put on and you have a cost them, you work this and that, and yet you come back. If I saw no matter come back, come put nothing on the funeral. Just make them put me down on raw box and put me down. No matter come. No come, because you don't say you can't put you done class me and call me all kind of things. So when you see funeral time, do not come. Period.
Do you think that's a male's perspective? Because I've heard many men say, just put me in a pine box.
It's a figure of speech.
Yeah,
it's a figure of speech. It don't make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
You can assist now that the breath of life lasts. And you go come now. Me a call and me a beg on the phone to me a feed. Remember say, and I say me can't work now. I speak now. You know, and then I'm gonna find every excuse. You got to give money to that girl there. It's my life. You mean more give the money? You don't know what the girl do for me? Oh, you must know what the girl do for me. Because she must not up to date to be in my family. Maybe she's the only one Mr. When I'm in a problem. She can fulfill my needs in every way. When you tell me, say, don't share. She give me a nice youth. What? Not because when up there on a society, you want to get that. You can't choose for me. But if I am in need and you can help, help. If you don't want to help, it's fine. But don't give them too higher clothes. They are run to give me this fine. Remember, sometimes the prescription alone could have saved your life. And it's way less than the expensive box and the stick and the locks and the dollars, patterns, type of come there eating, belching and say, long time today. And that's what you support right there. So that poem is called Advance Me a Thing.
I'm just curious to know how the audience feels about that particular piece. That's a pretty heavy piece, you know.
I wouldn't think all the audience feel. You know, all right. Yes, whenever you realize that they lounging, step to the podium and I just deliver.
Yeah,
It's not a thing. It's a leader or somebody who put in the position to teach persons. Never you think what someone of deliver. Because when you start to think how they feel, you're going to adjust your thing just to make somebody feel good, and then your thing becomes alive.
Talk truth.
After talk the truth. And when you talk the truth, what is going to happen? A lot of people are going to say, going to reject it because the truth is an offense. So they're going to call me Mr. Offense because I am the truth. So, me no want come mince up the words and all them type of thing. They will just try to talk and tell it as it is. So when they come to deliver something, if the crowd will look mean because they might hear something different, just deliver. If the crowd even want to be silent. If you look on your life and you see like how you see 3 people in the life, it's not 18 or 20 people. Just deliver. By the time the right people are whoever comes to look at it, them going to see the right thing that you're delivering. But don't try to do something just to gain as a gain or to hold the crowd. We don't hold the crowd. We just deliver. Yeah?
Yeah.
Deliver.
I'm just always today. It's ironic that you would read that particular piece because I often think about you live your entire life and you have all this open space and you're always looking for more space. But when you're put in the ground, you're in a uh, 6 foot long casket, right? On average. And that's the only space you require is the space in the box in which you lay into. Then I thought about when you're in your mother's womb, you have tiny space. You have tiny space going in and you have tiny space going out. But you get to pursue the work, while you're here. And everyone is like, they want the big stuff, like advance me a thing, right? Not only are you talking about the medication, but the double entendre there for me is when you say, if my dog could help me. And that's really going into a whole different place when you are reaching out because no one else is giving when they have that opportunity to do so while you're here. You have to reach back for and like, if my dog could, right?
You want my answer?
I do.
All right. The next poem being advanced, I think it is called Nothing.
How
That
fitting.
answers.
How fitting.
Because when I am writing,
Guys, you have to get the book.
when I'm writing,
Yeah.
you see it, it's like I know the question going to come with. And this was never planned enough. All right. Let me answer. Regardless of our cash or kind, all earthly position we will leave behind. Says when I'm up in the morning, I go on and look here, it's a funeral, nobody else they becomes fashion. It's when a man come to your funeral, him one man was him did spend $1 million. The man spend the money. So him can gain an audience from your funeral. The clothes that people wear the funeral is not nice. One funeral just for 500 US, 600 US. You see me I say? The car them rent, it not normal. So funeral becomes a fashion show. So a guy will wait for you for dead so him can come pull off a fashion show. So me don't want to say this. So come like if you live, if my sis you forget better. The big show couldn't pull off.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody might not realize that you the give me even a little money. Because he want that to be known to, you know. So he must say I want to you, and nobody don't know say him give and they bounce back and you know, and if him start to talk about it, then people might say, oh, my gonna talk about it. But if you are late to rest and him come, it obvious I him a burial. Obvious the Cadillac costs, obvious the casket costs. It's obvious the crowd that come there, you know, and you hug up and hold up a fake ball and all them type of thing there. We know them something, man. We know that. But you see, the truth hurts, yeah? The truth hurts. When I talk something sometimes, people say, Joseph Cohen, go easy, I go too hard. But guess what? There is no lie in a truth. But you can't find a truth into a lie. Yeah? Once the thing is true, no lie in a day and night. But you have lie with a little truth tonight. But him do something and turn it into a lie. But when the thing is true, you cannot find any lie. So there can be no lie in a truth, but there's truth in lie. Figure that one out. Regardless of your cash or kind, all early position will left behind. With nothing we came, with nothing we will leave. Doesn't matter your success or how much you achieve. If cash could purchase life, the rich would never grieve, bereave. So long, King George, no more Prince Steve. Good living, positive thinking, regardless of earthly power. Remember, there is a superpower, there's a supreme power. What governs our life and action? Your one apartment cannot store a mansion. Been to many processions, hundreds congregating, singing, mourning, with him, pastor preaching, by the grave, large gathering, with many things going through their mind. At the end of the day, only one left behind.
That's so rich.
At the end of the day, only one left behind. Oh my Lord. At the end of the day, okay, much people say go to the funeral and go on and go on. One left behind.
So you really thought these things out, it appears. There's a lot of substance in each piece that you've written. It tells a story and it's worth the read. Again, Joseph Pratt, My Golden Book of Poems, is available for you whenever you're ready to receive it. 2000 Jamaican, My Golden Book of Poems by Joseph Pratt.
Friends and family, when you read that one, you know what follow that one? When I am gone. Three of them work together. You hear me tell you, say, them come with the fake ball of the church. What me I go say about it? Then if when me they want something and you could not see it. Not even a good word, not even a little prayer, you didn't pray for me. But you come at the funeral and you come buy this and buy that and buy it. Yeah? So I've got so come I've got to eat me there to get something from you. Can't have them something.
Mm.
You know? I'm not gonna do that, you know. If you have a loved one the attention, the malice, the keep it. Make it not your side, the malice side. Make it by malice. Take up the phone and call them tomorrow and talk to them. May never be. May be tomorrow. Yesterday gone, tomorrow look, about today. So take up the phone and call somebody, my friend. Call somebody. But my next program, tell me who you call and tell me how it work out. Call somebody. Don't just get up and say, me not talk to him. Nobody know, you're not big and bad, you're not God, you're not mighty. The human body is carcass and germ. Carcass and germ are waiting to eat up my Congo worm. The human body is carcass and germ are waiting to eat up my Congo worm. So don't just boy you play who first or who. No, don't do that. If you call and they don't want to talk to you, make it a response for them shoulder, not your own. Make sure your heart clean. Make sure your heart is clean. When we say advancing, I think, don't be the one who someone has to advance them something. I you know do it. But you have to turn up at the funeral. Mansion, big car, big van, expensive casket, expensive this. No. Call someone, tell them you love them. Call someone, well, I'm sorry if you not talk to you. Look here, I have to talk to you. Call somebody and assist them. Call somebody from the hospital and tell them, pray for them, tell them you love them. And if you can afford to help buy the prescription by tomorrow, by the morning, do that. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Somebody wants some prescription right now to be filled right now. Somebody wants to hear your voice right now. Somebody just want to tell them say I love them right now. Somebody want a hug. I think I am serious. Where are you? I am serious. Dad, where are you? Serious. The valley. Where are you? I am serious. D family. D and D family. I could go on and. Let me be fun and laugh. Memories of good pastor. And eyes. Don't. When I am gone, don't. When I'm wait until tell me your likes, the difference. I know where I go wrong so I can make it right. Malice must not be part of envy, jealousy must never stay around. If your thoughts in a positive way, when I am gone, be as bright as the morning dew that tell. The singing the pretty painted butterfly, mountain, bird, the trees. When I'm gone, life goes on. And I am gone, life goes on, goes on, goes on, goes on. Pick up your phone, my friend, and call somebody. Call a baby mother, call a sister, call a friend, call a cousin, call someone from your club, call somebody. Every man in this world was born a baby. Every man did creep before he more. You know? We're not sure how we come here sometimes, but we know how we are coming out. Yeah? We know we are coming out, man.
Okay.
You don't want to behave as if through a little dollar for them. Through a little mansion, a little car, a little house for them. They can feel like they're better than people. Come up on the same slave ship. Yeah, man. But four people come on the same slave ship and them put them tie with down, them chain with down. Why I think so the six when I get up and say independence. We know so we're independent. We're independent now. Makusa pen and all them pen there. But we know about the dents on top of it. We are still independent. You know why Jamaica for that so much pen? Makusa pen, me a pen, because one time there was nothing but pen and then put people in the pen and lock up like animals. Sell you out of the pen, chain up in the pen, a pure pen way in like goat, black people. And then we start going like with boss all of a sudden, boss is slave man. He bigger than you one because you want big police, you want to come train you for me to trouble you. And like me, you know my era know which part, a criminal place you have to be careful. You know man, different areas see me and you have to start boiling me up and all them kind of things. Like, no man, most slaves and things, man. You have a little money and you have one like your money more than mine. They want to come disrespect and things. No, brother together, man. Brother and sister. You know, and then we start to yourself as brothers and sister. You cry, my God. Me nah shoot my brother, but I want to shoot it because me and my family. We are family, man. About the foolishness, man. Look for me and look for your brother. You know, so we black alike and look see them, you know, look them big and all them type of thing there. You know, so we know it's broad and them something there. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. My friend that are doing live, you know, when they find live and you feel the vibes and you talk, don't watch the amount of people they find live. Don't make that stop it from say what you want to say. Say it you want to say it still, man. You know, don't watch the amount. I could have won somebody or two somebody. Just do your life properly because it's going to place there. Now I'm moving on. So just remember what you're about at all times. When I'm gone, man. Telling you.
It's just very reflective. You know, when you say when I'm gone, life goes on, I always think of that because not only should you call and talk to the person and let them know that you love them and encourage them, or you may have to apologize to them as you have spoken of in the past. And it's okay to apologize to another person, you know. And like you said, if they don't receive what you said to them, because you're coming from your heart, from a good place, to just let it stand and let God handle the rest. But when you say, when I'm gone, life goes on, I think it's something to consider that when I hear the piece, it makes me love a little longer, love a little harder, to be a little neater, a little sweeter to another person. Because when they're gone, life does go on. And also it triggers a thought for me. When we say when I'm gone, life goes on, what is your contribution to the world? When you're gone, life does go on. But what will you leave behind? You know, I often think of that. That's something I've thought about for many, many years. You know, we're going to love you because of the loss of leaving you. But as long as I'm alive and I love you or someone else loves you and stuff like that, and your family and all of that, you're still remembered. But when they run out, what happens next? When you're gone, life does go on. But like you have a compilation of work that you put in place that's been cataloged that people can come back and revisit you and have a reflection of what your thoughts were. Because I think about Africa. We talked about that at the books at your book launch when we talked about the history of writers, how important writers were during biblical time. Because if we did not have writers and the word wasn't written down, we wouldn't have that book, the good book, the recipe for life, the Bible to read. So my thing is that's reflected for me and in the history of Africa, where the storyteller was held in high esteem, you know, as the writer is in biblical days. I think of that because we would like tonight, it's very similar to what you're doing right now, is you're telling stories through your book. And it's something that as long as other people are reading it and you're putting it out there, it gets to be discussed, right? That's legacy. And to me, that's very important, you know, because I believe that we were put here for a purpose to bring something to the table. But so when you're gone, life goes on. But what's your contribution? What will you leave behind? What's tangible for you that you'll leave behind that your family can go back to and touch?
That's
Like,
the reason why I said when you're doing your work, do not work for the whistle and the scream.
correct.
Put out your work properly.
Mm-hmm.
Me know you have man right now where in concept and in image as an artist
Mm-hmm.
was just right concept. He might send out the messages and thing. But when him take the stage with another man and find say the man was DJ two girl thing, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
it called real. And I never saw him a DJ two girl thing. And the man think that a theme concept, a theme thing that.
Mm-hmm.
So him come off a theme thing because they call him a nice theme. So him do something to call real theme to right away. Him lost him way. That's not him was about. That's not what he was about.
Mm-hmm.
So him totally lost him way.
Okay.
So him get the whistle and scream for 2, 3, 4 years. But him should have passed. You examine him work. What is that? What is that?
Mm-hmm.
You know? They can't follow a man that just come in the world and try to eat a food, make a money and a cure where him left behind. You can't follow, you can't blind can't lead blind. You can't follow the man there. In
Mm-hmm.
blind and maybe no spot him gonna you follow behind him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that's the man concept. Now you there on your life and a man say, do tell them something, man, right away, man. Say, people them no man, you know have to do where a man tell us to do, man. You come do what you come for do, you do what you and anything at all that you want to do, we're a little bit different, make it be your meds and you can explain it. Not because a man tell us say, I see a man do this.
Vision.
You want to copy where a man do.
Yeah. What's the vision?
So the legacy we are gonna leave behind is something positive,
It should
something that
always
people
be.
can go back to,
Mm-hmm.
look into. I can talk about sex right now and have a brilliant show about sex. You don't have to be like the derogative things I ever talk about. I can have a program on sex, marriage, broken hearted, people who had sex for the first time. What was it like? Yeah, it's a reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you do the show, where you talk about into the show. We can talk about rape, we can talk about just any topic you can touch. Not what you do, how you do it.
That's true. Mm-hmm. That's a word of wisdom.
Not what you do is how you do it. All right. In the book, I did the bartending game. Mama said, I speak of the bartender. She's someone's child.
Absolutely.
A man said, oh, my talk about bar. Yeah, man, they can talk about prostitute too. And interview them, see me, and interview a dancer too.
There are
Is a
people.
concept where you're going to, not like you're going to endorse the thing, say, oh, just be a bartender. No, you listen to them play it and then, or how you work it out and what what you expect of the show, how it concluded. So now I'm going to read about the bartender then. The bartending game. A lot of people see persons who work in bar and them class them and disgrace them and all them type of thing there. They are someone's child. First of all, you have never spoken to the person to see why they took that job before your class bartender. I understand if you're going to talk about Alicia or Patsy because you and Patsy have a discussion and two she tell us say you can say boy Patsy or but you don't say bartenders. We don't know what transpired while the job, what they expect of the job. You know? And the bartender is just like an artist. You see, to sell into a bar, to be a bartender or barmaid, you have to hold a crowd because the owner for the bar wants to make some money. Me not go have bar because that is not my thing. But the owner for the bar wants to make some money. So he wants someone who can hold the crowd. Never send the bartender to go around. Serve, sell and serve drinks. Their duty. Why would I go to why would I go to buy beer for when I go to it? Here and talk to them and the bar him feel when him go to the liquor and him can talk. Can you get the most jokes in bar and bar there? So people go to bar for different reasons, but the bartender plays a big part.
Okay, talk to us.
Yes, she has to have the look, she has to have the know-how, she has to have the attitude, and just remember, the bar, right? Not everybody going to stoop to that because if the customers pass that, she will pick up her bag and she went home.
Mm-hmm.
There are bartender who has families, there are bartender who have kids, married. But it's not for them to come to the bar to say, no, I'm married, I have kids. No, you will entertain your guests. That's what they're there for. I'm saying it's a nice job, that good job, but all I'm saying, you're somebody's child and something in your mind, she choose you. Getting confused as the game continue. Someone has to lose. It's a hardcore reggae. The game kind of rough. Not Candy Crush. Get the first touch. Osh, I water running. Wipe it up. This is no corn and anchor with no dice and cup. This game is about feelings and art, bullseye and dart. The bar game is hot. In it, do you really want to get caught? This is no looting or snake and ladder. This game is for cheaters, users, pathetical liars. Man looking a female partner, bartender convincing customer, several customer targeting one, but one has to choose from many. Come up with a spinning. Stay out, cannot hide your and shield your brain. The game consists of heartache, laughter, and shame, wealth, loss, expecting to gain a name, seeking the bar fame, which lead to shame halfway in the game. Soft, strong feelings, fun, cash, good encouragement, in art, several drinks, getting tipsy, a little jealous, your friends enemy. forgetting you forget you're not married. All that is in front of cute, sweet, sexy, drink cheers from Rome to Pepsi, to a Q or a quart of Hennessy, while some remain at Boom and Campari. Pouring, energy receiving, aftermaths while holding on to fantasy, being led by a smile as you are tender, but she's too experienced to be styled. She's no clown, not easily laid down. Don't watch her friendly ways. She knows how to get around. As your innocent heart is shattered in a bar, felt as if you are so near, youth, yet so far. Malicious destruction of the heart, damaging your feelings. All that you gather was without meaning. And now all your friends are laughing, drunk in ignorance. Be naive and call it tolerance. As the game ends, the bartender is gone and you lost all your friends. What a bartender, what a game. She make you feel so nice. That's a professional bartender, you know. She serve you your drinks, she do all the things that make you feel nice, shout to the music and every little thing, and you know start tell your friends about my girl that you want to catch up in an argument and when you start to have a cuss over the woman and then you vex. By fear a week done, she gone home and you lose the whole of your friend. How you feel? And when you see her first you just come in your mind, that is your girl. So when you're right, you know have to write in a way where you say, like the old time gospel. But you can write in a realistical way where you touch different topics. And all the writing, let it teaches someone or let it send a message.
Is that a true experience for you? Were you ever in love with the bartender?
All right, when a man go to a bar, you see a lot of stuff. Growing up as a youth growing up in the inner city, we do a whole heap of things, whole heap of experience with that. Yeah, when I go to the bar more time, man, this was not for me, but it happens to person. So I put myself in other person's shoes.
Okay, a good writer.
Yes. But I actually been to bar, see girl that me like in the bar. I'm a day come, you can spend a little money, I'm a day. But me as a man, I catch on quick because me as a man, me face reality. So for me, I spend my money, I go on, I say she get somebody say I. So I know say, I mean she want to be friendly in that kind of way. There. Not that she want any of us, but she don't want to be close to me. So I know that early and quick and fast. I'm just fitting myself like the rest of the person and just go and enjoy myself.
My brother married a bartender.
That is very good. And I guess when he married to her, she left the bar.
Because he did marry, they had one child from that union, and they eventually divorced. But he won her heart because he was the lesser of the guys that she would have. Everyone thought she would have chosen, right? But he spent time with her. He put his money in the bar. He visited her at work often, and he had begun to make sure she got home safely and all of that. And so when, he soon was married to her, he loved her, cared for her. And to this day, he says she's the only wife he's ever had in his life.
Because she's someone's child.
Yeah, she's special, and she's still special to him.
Look here, don't care what job somebody does. When you meet someone, it's not what happened tonight and yesterday, is what is going to happen after.
Yes.
So you look, you see what you like her reason, you like her spirit, you connect, and then you start to quote.
Correct. And what's interesting about this bartending, her being a bartender, the situation is she has since married and several times. So she's
She
still
married several times.
several times, but it's amazing because though she's married, um, he has a special place in her heart, which meant that being young and incomplete in learning and growing, had they have been more mature in that relationship, they probably would have still been together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So very lovely person. Hmm.
I'm telling people you can find a wife anywhere. It's just how people do things.
Hmm.
I find comfort in book, you know. I find comfort in book. I read book and find comfort. I find comfort in poetry.
Hmm.
I read poems and let's say what? BYCR did a song called Smile Smile. Why can't Smile smile on Friday like he smiled on Monday? He's
Hmm.
a boss man, but whenever I'm supposed to pay money, he does not smile.
Okay.
Him smile every day of the week except Friday.
Mm.
BYCR did that poem, and I'm telling you, it was a good poem. For me, it is not the poet, the singer, the DJ, it is the works.
Definitely the work.
So
Always the work.
people are great, and them work great.
Hmm.
God is great. People and them work great. So I model someone's work. The great works of men, the great works of DY, the great works of Muta, the great works of Michael Jackson. You understand? Because people can change. And if you model the person, as soon as the person change, you know, like not remember again.
Hmm.
But if it's just him work from morning, him could have changed all him want to change, the work does not change. You understand? The work never change.
You have a good book.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Which is their favorite poem in this book?
My favorite poem is actually Tears. Hmm. It's really Tears. But but I think there's a reality in one piece for me,
Mm-hmm.
which is complementary to Jamaica as a whole.
That is that.
Ancient Living.
Okay, he always have that poem.
I love it. As a matter of fact, I love this poem so much that I
I am so afraid to read that poem.
no, don't read it. Don't read this poem because if you're from Jamaica, the reason why I'm asking you not to read this piece because I think the reader, the person who gets the book, they should have the opportunity
Mm,
to enjoy that piece as much as I, as a person who is not from Jamaica, love this piece.
mm-hmm.
What's so wonderful about this piece, and I think pardon me, I asked you a question. I said, I want to eat every single thing that you said in this poem. This particular piece, I'm just gonna not read it. I just want
A
to.
Jamaican cooking culture. A Jamaican cooking
I
culture.
know
That's what. That's it.
it's what's in the piece Ancient Living. They talk about the tram car, right? I found a piece of artwork that was done by a Jamaican artist, which I will be bringing home with me, and it matches up totally with your piece.
So you're saying my poem of you researching these things that I said in the poem.
Yes, yes, and you have
Mm.
several types of food in there, and I want to taste every single food that you speak of because I'm not from here. So
Mm.
what you've done is you in that particular piece, and as irony would have it, I think it's your first piece. It's one of your first pieces.
Ingenuity.
Yes.
Mm.
But what's good about this particular piece is it not only it introduces your culture, it introduces your food, it introduces alcohol, and I'm not a drinker and stuff like that. And I think when I'm in the supermarket in the United States, since I've read your piece, I'm looking for those types of beers and alcohol and all these things like that.
I never they drink it. I tell you what they used to drink. So do not. If you don't drink alcohol, don't.
This is what happened. I was in the supermarket one day and I went to look at beers because I was cooking and I needed a beer, one beer to do a recipe because I love to cook. Um, and you had Mackinson L or something like that. Was you had, I think, and I saw some kind of beer. I think it's a beer. It's in the book.
Mackinson's an old beer.
Well, I saw.
Mackinson, 3 months stout. Mackinson strong. Mackinson strong ale.
Okay, well, I had an opportunity. I was like, is this what's in the book? Is this the beer? Is this the thing? Because I was just looking for just a beer, right? But when I ran across that, I was excited to see that. I don't know, but I did have a chance to see it. But I want to taste everything. I think I would like to. This is what I'd like to see happen. And I think we may have talked about it. I think it would be so exciting to do a reading and have every single thing that's in there food wise in that particular piece.
Okay.
Because you talked about different types of breads and this thing with the little thing on the top and all that. And I was like,
oh, the pudding with the wet on top.
Yeah, I want to taste that.
Mom can make that.
I want to taste those things. And if anyone should read that piece, like myself, who's not from your country, we want to taste it. we want, we want to experience Jamaica through the food, and then that's part of your culture. And I was looking at, I think I was looking at a bus of some sort, and I was like, is that the car? The car that's in the art? I think I was saying, is that it? And I want to ride that tram car. I don't know if it exists any longer or what, but I like to have the experience.
No, the tram cars before I was born.
Yeah, but I'd like to
I think it's in some other country though. I think it's in some country.
Yeah, but I like to have that experience to ride and sing the song that you're talking. I mean, guys, this piece is so Jamaica, and they do everything good in Jamaica. That is my new motto. When I talk to anybody, I always tell them now they do everything good in Jamaica. And part of that has come from my experience just through your eyes and through your writing and just having an opportunity to engage some of the dynamic people here that I've encountered just along the way through you. So I thank you for that. I thank you for this compilation that you put together. And I thank you for trusting us enough to be able to digest and enjoy what you put together, because I think it's well worth the read. I'd like to see your book in the schools and in the libraries and stuff here.
Where is this book in America? Where can I find it from?
Well, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and also in Alabama. It will be also when I visit New Orleans in October. It will also be placed in the bookstores in New Orleans as well. But through I was able to set things up where we're trying to get it into every library in the United States of America. So fortunately, hopefully, I've had the dialogue with the people in my city in Alabama, and they're looking at trying to get your book. They want your book already, so that's a good thing.
Okay. Talk Shoot fans, Talk Shoot viewers and subscribers. Yes, we are here talking about my golden book of poem, the book that I've written. The launching was on the 5th of August 2021. And I'm telling you, it was good. I am going to post what had transpired at the launching so you guys could see. Yes, I'm going to post what transpired at the launching so you guys can see. This book is my first book that will, no, it is my first book. I had a book that released in England some years ago. It's a very small book with just some poetry in it too. It was when it was when the Jamaicans um was when the Jamaicans went to Beijing.
Okay.
Yes, I actually did this book over the phone. I was speaking to a publisher on the phone, watching the race, and I was writing the poems as soon as the race win. I was just doing the poem, and then I just emails, email all the stuff then, and before the Olympic was over, the book was ready. I remember when we gave Shelly and Fraser her book, she just jump up in the air and jump on me. And she was so happy. I remember that was in, I think, Pegasus Hotel. Yeah. So that was many years ago. I didn't remember how that book was done. It's not like this book that with different stuff in it, and I spent some time to really get this together. As I'm always thinking that this is my first book. And that book, it was a limited edition book.
Yeah.
It was not for any and anyone. It's just a limit. They just make a limited amount of books. And said after a certain amount of years, they're going to auction those books. That's what they did it for charity.
Yeah.
So
That's what we were talking about, how important it is to always try to get the first copy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that book is more for, it was designed for that purpose. So it was never a book to sold to the world or whatever. Like, oh, this is going to be on the market. So I don't know if I should call this my first book still.
Talk
I
true.
don't know. I'm wondering. I say I'm not sure if I should say this is my first book, but it can be because I said the other book is going to be, it
It's for
is a
charity.
limited edition, which after years they're going to put the book on auction. Yeah.
Sotheby's,
Mhm.
it goes there, it goes for thousands of
Yes, that's
dollars.
what they said
Yeah.
they're going to do with it.
Mhm.
So
That's good.
they want to make a limited amount. So this can be my first book that will be all over. Not no limited edition, it's just going to be everywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Jamaica now? I know that you have days to go now.
I do have days to go. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Someone wrote that. Um, you're gonna make me cry. You do this every time. I
What
wish
is
you'd
your most
stop.
excited moments?
I think my most exciting moment is not. I have several. Can I have more than one? Because I have like a few, and that kind of stand out. One of which was celebrating you and having the opportunity to work with a wonderful talent. I'm very
Hmm.
proud of what you've done, and I think that your work is going to be a blessing to others as it always has. And your work ethic, um, to me, is bar none because I've had an opportunity to watch you go through the process of creating and doing what you're doing, and watching you and understanding how much you love your sweet land of Jamaica and why you write the way you write, and how much you love your people, your community at large, and your Heart of Love group. So those are sweet moments that really tell how unselfish and giving you are as a person. And I speak truth when I say these things because I've been an eyewitness as it relates to your compassion for other people, and that's not a bad thing. But today I had an opportunity to go to St. Thomas, to the bath fountain, on where the water was 131 degrees, and it was nice and hot but worth it. And nice and cold, but worth it also. Um, the hill was a bit challenging for me, and I made it both ways. I was excited about it, and as soon as I finished, I wanted to do it all over again. That's how good the experience was for me. So I highly recommend that. Mineral water. Am I correct to say that?
Yeah, it's bath fountain.
Yeah, the bath fountain. Yeah, the bath fountain, and it was a wonderful experience. So if you can get there and have that experience, it's well worth the journey. So I say to you, they do everything good in Jamaica. I'm a fan. I don't know. I'm just a fan. Everything, everywhere I've went, every experience that I've had since I've been here, I want other people to come to Kingston and to have that experience that I've had. And Jamaicans do things a whole different way as we witness in the Olympics, and stuff like that. So I'm saying kudos, big ups. Did I say it right? Big ups to everyone in your country, because you guys love what you do and you lay into it, and you have a wonderful track record of doing things par excellence, and I really respect that. But that's one thing that I've learned.
Talk tune, Robin. Talk tune. Yes, man. My people, it is great to be on this live, talk through telly, and some wonderful people who stay on the live from start to finish, and some wonderful people who goes in and out of the live because I, they have other obligations. But I can tell you, I have had some loyal subscribers and viewers who they always make the time to see what is happening and talk through telly. And whenever I do my posts, there is always onto the post, liking and commenting. It is good to comment. We want to know what you think. When you comment, I read every last comment. If I get 100 comment, I'll go through all 100 comments. I like to know what you're thinking. So it is nice to know that you're here with me, celebrating the release of this book, my golden book of poem. And if you're not at the launching, I will post what took place at the launching so you all could see. You know, if you want to get the book, you know, you can contact us right here. Waylock, it is WAYLAC 24 at gmail.com. You could email me there for right now. And soon you will have the ebooks and stuff. Soon it will be in Kingston bookstore and a different bookshop. It's just gonna take a little time because this book is published in the United States of America. So it is going to circulate America even quicker than how it will be circulated or it will be circulated in Jamaica. Yeah. But we have a limited amount here. If you contact me, you could get one to buy, or if you wait too long, then all of them will be in the store, in the bookstore. So then you'd have to contact the bookstores to get them. But for now, I have a limited amount here because some have been sold at the launching, and from time to time, friends support and buy them. Some people call to request books from me, you know, and some people who are not yet in Jamaica who are supposed to be coming here after to save book for them. They wanted to support and they wanted to buy. So that's it on my golden book of poem. And it comes to that time of the evening again, my friend. when I'm about to say tata, walk good, be safe, don't lie. Talk truth, people. Talk truth. Talk truth. Talk truth. Yes, my friend. And I will say tata. Big up to Miss Wang. Enough respect. Enough respect to all the persons who are here tonight. Enough respect to Mr. Hugh Grant. As I said tonight, I don't want to start read the comments. I just highlight them on the screen and I will go back to them because I'm going to do a live. I'm going to do a post from this live. Yes. So thanks for watching, and I know we will meet again. Same place, same time, right here at Talk Truth Telling. Talk Truth, people. Talk Truth. No respect.